Hello fellow photographers, today I'm gonna show you how I made this concept of this photo and which techniques I used to achieve this final look. I had the opportunity to use the costume, the warrior costume of a friend of mine that I used to take some photos of my girlfriend. This photo was done in natural light. The only light source that I used was the sun setting in the background, and on her left in the foreground there was a fire that was illuminating her, and in the right the fire was going in the back and it was illuminating the armor, giving a nice crisp edge on her left arm. After I took photos of her, I had the occasion to still use the armor because I still have a bit of light, and actually it was perfect because the lights that I had were not strong enough to blot out the sun in the daylight, so I had to wait a bit for the sun to set. Also, the light after the sunset, it's very blue, very cold. It's exactly what I want it to be. Those lights that I have are from Elinchrom. They're called Ranger Quadra. Actually, it's like a portable battery with two flash heads. Yeah, you can laugh about my pants and my running shoes. The light on the left is an octobox that was about 80 centimeters or something, and inside there was a yellowish gel that gave like a warm color. You will see later the purpose of it. And on the other side there is a cold light, pretty far away from me. It was like 10 meters or something. I didn't want to have it in my picture, and it was giving a very blue cold light that was trying to imitate the moonlight or something. Actually, it helped me to give a contrast between the warm light and the cold light. And the fact that I put the blue light on my left side is because on my left arm I had the armor, not on the right. And I wanted the armor to be blue and shiny. It was just a flash head with a blue gel on top of it. The whole idea was to have a cinematic shot. So for example, when you go inside the tent, you're gonna have the fire, and on top you're gonna have the light from the moon. And in this picture I had to justify the key light, which is the strongest, the biggest light. Initially I wanted this photo to be 16:9, the standard of cinema, but I didn't want to cut the horn that was next to my leg, and the parts that were left on my left and on my right, the sides, were kind of empty, so I just made it square. Everything was made in a rush. The whole process took like 20 minutes, and what's most important is that I did it by myself. I didn't have any assistant or help with me, and in my left arm I had the shutter trigger for the camera. I took advantage of a fire that just happened next to my house on a hill where I live. I liked it because it was looking like cold, blue, kind of deserted land, barren wasteland. Here you see me working and burning the land. In the hand I have the trigger, and I just tried to make a lot of smoke and fire to give more depth to the shot. But I only had like 2 or 3 minutes because the fires were going out very fast. I tried to use the smoke from this photo from the back, but in the final product I didn't have that much smoke and fire anymore, so I had to add it in Photoshop. In order to make the light look more credible, I had to justify this key light on the left. And I was thinking to put a torch in my hand to somehow make my audience feel that the light on the left is coming from the torch. And this torch gives you the impression that it's lighting my face, but actually my face was lit up by the flash. First I even tried it with a torch in my hand, but the light of the torch was so dim, so I had to use artificial light. It's a mixed light, a warm and a cold one. It's a contrast. The background was anyway cold because of the light and the ash that was around. After doing all the preparation and framing of the shot because I couldn't see myself, it was kinda too late because the fires went out and the smoke was blown by the wind. In the final photo I had to take the fires from other photos. Actually this was the original file, unedited, and I didn't have the torch on my right hand. There was still some smoke in my background. This stick in my hand was just a reference for my future torch that I'm gonna put in Photoshop. The torch, I took it from this image that was part of a photo session that I made in the same day. The location was some kind of cave, but there is something that I don't like about this photo. Maybe it's about the highlight in the background that takes too much attention, or like, I don't know, but it doesn't look good in my opinion. I didn't do much color correction, I just added some grain and a bit of blue and green in the shadows, I guess. And that's kinda it. As you can see, the colors are not that changed between the original file and the edited one. And that's kinda it. If you have any questions, you can write me a comment, and see you in my next videos.